Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Fear. Not the Mark Wahlberg one, but this is a movie about, a couple of people get away on a weekend vacation, but then it turns into a nightmare due to some airborne threat, contagious airborne threat. Like, okay. So I don't know why it's on my list, because I thought I knew more people in it. Okay, Joseph Sikora is on it. Seen him. T.I. is in it, and the other person I recognize is Ruby Modine. She's in a couple of different things, but other than that, I don't recognize anybody. And here it's a 3.4 on IMDb, but only 562 people rated it so far. I don't know. Low expectations. Not sure why it's on here. It's on Amazon Prime. It's an hour and 38 minutes long, but I put it on here for a reason. I just think sometimes I add them. Like the scores are real high. I don't look at how many ratings. And then as more people see them, the score continues to get lower and lower until I'm able to find it and put it on. So I think that happens sometimes. And that might have been what happened here. Or the score was always low and I just added it for whatever reason. But anyway, I'm going to watch it and I'm going to let you know what I think. So stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, I want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching Fear. We're at the 48-minute, 25-second mark, just about halfway. And a little bit different than what you get on IMDb, and that's why I do these check-ins, to really, give you a better idea of what the movie's about. So, there is an air virus. It's Corona, right? Essentially, is what's happening. Now, they're aware of this, and they all meet up at this cabin or this awesome, old-time hotel kind of thing, right out in the middle of nowhere. It's a group of friends. One guy and his fiance, or not fiance, girlfriend, hopefully be fiance sometime kind of thing. Anyway, they go, all their friends are there, right? Childhood friends, friends that known each other for a while. One guy happens to be the writer's agent. He's a writer, and he's his agent. Whatever, doesn't matter. They all know each other. And they get there. And, there's some strangeness about the house and the history, and they're finding things out about it. And I think, what they're alluding to with the fear aspect is, the thing that they're seeing is, they're going to be, they talk about their greatest fears, and somehow those greatest fears are going to come back and haunt them through this way. However, this Corona, very similar, it's going on throughout the entire world. It's not just at this hotel. Has escalated, right? So now it's airborne, it's in the air, and they're telling everybody not to go outside. So they're kind of trapped now in the house. But I don't believe that that is the villain in all of this, or you know what I mean? I think the house is somehow haunted in a way, and it's not. They're fighting for their lives based on this virus. So a little different than what I read it to believe. Like it seemed like they get there, and then this virus comes out, and that's their. I think that's there, but I think it's just a little bit of a little bit of something to keep them all together in the house and nobody will leave, kind of thing. And so there you go. So far so good. There's nothing wrong. I said it was 3 something. I think was the actual rating we saw on this. So far it's not a 3. Like not in my eyes anyway. 3.4. Yeah. That's for movies that are really, really poorly shot, poorly written. There's nothing like that in here. It's just a bunch of friends getting together, having a good time, and maybe now it's gonna, I think we'll see what's gonna happen, but we're definitely gonna see what's happening because I'm gonna watch the rest of the movie. That was just dumb for me to say, but if you stick around, I'll tell you what I see. So I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Fear, and I realize now, just at the end of this, it is on Amazon, as I said, but it's from Redbox. That's where I see it. I get the Redbox updates all the time, and it was an original from Redbox, and I'll be honest, when they send me the emails, there's, a couple of movies on their Redbox emails, if you're on their distribution list, and they're all the latest ones that are out. And so I know most of them, like when, I don't know if Ant-Man's out there yet, but when Ant-Man, on Redbox, but that'll come out, Cocaine Bear, all those are going to be there. And so when I get it, I can quickly read through and be like, okay, Fear, never heard of this one. It's the only one in this email that I haven't seen or haven't heard of. Click into it, see some actors maybe. That's how it ends up on my list. So that mystery is solved. Now, the mystery of this movie being any good, that's kind of solved for me. It's not great, but it's definitely not a 3.4. You know, again, I have my own thoughts on why people rated it so low, right? It's not a fantastic rush out and go see it kind of movie. I mean, when you talk about these horror, scary movies, there's only so much you can pull from where you're retreading other movies, right? In this case, they pull in the pandemic to create this movie about people who get haunted by their fears. And I mentioned that throughout the thing. Basically, they have this, fireside chat where they talk about, oh, my greatest fear is X, Y, and Z, and of course that's what the whole nemesis is in this, is somehow, some way, they get traumatized by their own fear, and to the brink of insanity, essentially, kind of stuff, which has been done many, many times in many, many different ways. And maybe you haven't seen something like that, and you might be interested in it, but that's what it is, and it ties in the pandemic to keep them cluttered together, is what this movie's about. So, for me, it wasn't really scary, in a sense. It's not like jump scary. There's no visuals that are like, ooh, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So, and there's, I think it's rated R mainly because there is some, murderous acts, things coming on, and some language. But other than that, that's it. And I'll say at the end, because I don't think it's going to spoil it, but I will say a little bit more about it in a second. But, and some of the characters are okay, and the acting, whatever. But it's, again, not awful. It's not like so obvious. There are some scenes where you're like, ugh, but not over the top. And I feel like I'm being, I'm trying to pull out everything because of the score being so low, and I'm trying to defend it. I don't think it should be that low. 5, maybe 4, maybe, probably not. I'm more of a 5 than I am. There are some special effects that looked downright awful, but whatever. Other than that, there's nothing else that really, really stands out to me that says this should be a 2, a 3, or a 1. So, right, here's my own theory, and I'm going to say it real quick. So, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. I'm not going to ruin the end of the movie, but they do bring faith into it, right? And I feel that some people rate films like this lower when faith or religion or God is brought into it, or anything woke, or anything Trump. There's no Trump in this, but that's my personal opinion. I think the scoring gets skewed because of that. Again, for me, it's like a 5. It feels like what's the channel that it's on? Cuddle? The horror TV channel. Oh, I can't remember what it is. I know everybody else knows exactly what I'm talking about, but it feels like one of those kinds of movies, that it's on there that, people might enjoy. Shudder. That's it. That's all it is. That's what it seems like. But there you go. That's what I got for you. Hopefully I'm helpful. Don't believe the low scores, but don't go in expecting it's going to be something very new and creative and outstanding. You get what you get. That's it. Hopefully I was helpful. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.